Introducing Boneco air shower fans. Featuring an adjustable 270-degree head, you can even aim the fan at your ceiling, creating the sensation of an air shower within your room. The Boneco fans move the air around the room by pulling air from underneath and distributing it in a rotating motion. Perfect for placing at the front of your stairs to increase air circulation and reduce stagnant air. Place it in front of an open window or door to increase the flow of fresh air throughout your home. With 3 power levels, this stylish, innovative and unique design is the perfect addition to any home. Boneco air shower fans, designed and engineered in Switzerland. There you go, great brand. Been around since 1956. Swiss are synonymous. I almost said phenomenal. 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 Anyway, synonymous with great quality products. Just think watches, think chocolate. You know, these guys are winners when it comes to that sort of thing. But they're also, let me ask you, am I right in saying that air is what they work with, right? It's all about air.
Absolutely. Around since the 50s.
They didn't do toasters, don't do kettles.
Nothing like that. 1956, Swiss company. All they care about is air quality, air movement, making things better for you. Now, what they do recognize is that we do come into the summertime. It's fiercely hot. And, of course, cooling your house.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
let's hope. I love it. You don't like it, do you?
I can't stand it. I've got to go I'm going to Mexico in a few weeks on my honeymoon. It's going to wreck me, I swear. But
you will be swearing.
Oh, I tell you, I will. It'll wreck me. But basically what Boneco have done here is they wanted to cool your room. But, okay, so do you know, here's the thing for you, right? When you're sitting there outside in your garden or on the beach and it's sweltering hot and a breeze comes by, what do you feel like? It's like, oh, that's nice and cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because moving air is cooler air. That's what a breeze is. It's moving air. It feels colder. So what Boneco have done is that they have created this fan, and the only thing that it does is a fan. It's not trying to be anything else. It's not trying to be a demister. It's not trying to be this, that, or the other thing. It's a fan, but it is an air showering fan. It moves vast quantities of air, and I mean vast quantities. Now, have a look at that balloon. This is machine is on speed 1. Okay, there's 3 speeds on this just here.
Can I just make it? I've got to jump in. Sorry, Alan, I apologise.
No, not at all.
But the context of the balloon is so important for me. Listen, you heard me say many times that I like to watch my money. I squeak when I walk, that sort of thing. 150 quid for a fan just because it looks good? I'm not having it.
No.
I wasn't interested, but I bought one. Why? Because that balloon literally proves to me that it's not like a regular fan. It's not just blowing air. That is the vortex of air, isn't it?
Exactly it. Now, I'll go through this with you. So what's happening is, right, is that, okay, I'm going to move this. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this off first. I'm going to catch the balloon just to show you.
People might think it's on string.
Yeah, it's on string or something. It's not, okay? It's a Boneco balloon. There it is. I can't even put it in front of that because that's on as well. Let's pop this down here.
Okay.
So what I want to show you is a few little things, okay? So when we have a look at this, we're talking about vast quantities of air, and I'm going to prove that to you because I've got an anemometer. I know.
What is that? Yeah.
It's for measuring wind.
Oh, right.
Very useful in my house.
Yeah, my missus would like one of those.
I think you'd be thrown out if she measured that, quite frankly. So what I want to talk to you about is the way that it moves the air and what it does. Now, this is not a fan that you put on yourself. You don't aim this at you. That's not what you do. You aim this up.
Yeah.
Now, if you have it in the center of your room, you would aim this straight up. And it will hit the ceiling with this beautiful vortex of controlled air, hits it, moves across the whole ceiling and comes back down, drawing in air again and constantly moving it like this around your room. Now, remember I said moving air is cooler air, correct?
Yeah.
Now, it's doing that at such a rate of air that it genuinely, and I kid you not, drops the temperature of your room. But here's an important thing, because we all know there's an animation. If you put it in the corner, angle it slightly, because it does angle. I'll show you that.
That curly bit is the vortex.
Yes.
And that's where the balloon was sitting.
Exactly. I've got another thing to prove that to you in a moment. A brand new demonstration. So what I want to say to you is that with this, please don't think that it's expensive to run. It's not, because basically what we're looking at here with this is 33 watts of power. And if you have this on for 8 hours a day, 8 hours, it will cost you just under 7 pence.
Yeah.
That's with the
new... So all day, 21p?
21p, 24 hours a day. Now, you might say, well, I wouldn't use it that long, but I use this. I have the 120 beside you in my bedroom.
You're probably going to use it when you're awake, or maybe in bed.
It's terrific because it's so quiet. Now, another thing about it is this one is on, this one is on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fans right now turned on. Now, Paul, the most sensitive thing...
Let's stop talking, see if you can hear him. You might think we're frozen.
Yeah. But I was going to say the most sensitive thing in here is Alex Knowles, and then our microphones.
He's sensitive.
He is very sensitive, but he's lovely. He's my best friend. So basically, you have this quiet fan. Now, I want to show you, okay, because remember I said to you if you have this in the corner of a room, you angle it, because this moves from side to side, a whole rotation all the way around.
Yeah.
Now, you say, well, if you're putting this to the ceiling, why would you aim this down? Well, here's what a lot of people do if they're not in their house, but they have pets in the sweltering heat, they aim it to the floor.
Brilliant idea.
And it puts this whole blanket of cool air on the floor.
Yeah.
Terrific, yeah? Now watch this, okay, because here's what Boneco have done, and this is why it's so incredible. So the air is drawn in the back just here, okay? And you can see that it is now concave. Being concave, it has more surface area, more area to draw air in.
So that's not just for looks?
No, absolutely not. Now, do you see these here? This grill here, and on the other side is also there to pull air in. Now look at this here, drawing in the smoke from all the way around, but sending it up in a tunnel of air. Look at what it's doing. That's the vortex.
Yeah.
So now that you can see that physically, it's drawing in the air from underneath and from the sides.
Yeah.
Now what it's doing then is it's then forcing that out through the top of it, speeding up the air movement.
Yeah.
And that's cooling. Shoots it to the ceiling and around. Now I'm going to show you something really quickly, okay? The difference in a regular fan and the difference in Boneco.
I just got to jump in. Folks at home, I need you to know that we are way busier than we even anticipated. Way busier than we anticipated. Look, we know we've had a couple of warm days, right? And we were hoping you might be. We're in meltdown. So it's far busier than we expected. And I can promise you, we have had summers where we have no fans left because they've all sold out. If this gets hot over the next few days, and they've been saying on the weather, my mum's been going, heat waves coming, love, heat waves coming. Listen, I'm not a big fan of this hyperbole and people, it's going to be a heat wave. But at some point, it's going to be hot, right? Whether it's for a week, 2 weeks, if we're lucky, a couple of months. And year after year after year, it's going to get hot. If you keep this for 10 years, you might keep it for 20, but let's say 10, it's easier on the maths. 15 quid a year. And as you've already seen, it's not a fan, is it? It's not a fan. It's far more than that. I like what Alan said, the air shower fan. That makes sense.
Here's the difference. Look at this here. This is a normal fan blade.
Yeah.
All that's doing is chopping the air. That's not moving air. It's terrible. And it's one of those fans that goes like this around the room. Yeah. It oscillates around. And you're sitting there and you go, here it comes, here it comes. Oh, it's gone again now. It's over there somewhere. Then it goes, then it comes back. And you go, I got a little second from it. But not with this, because this here is completely cooling all of the air. Because look at the difference in the fan blade.
It's like a propeller, that thing.
Well, exactly, Paul. I'm glad you said that, because a propeller on a boat is only ever a little small thing like that, even on a speedboat or an outboard engine.
Yeah.
But what it does is it doesn't just push the water and push the boat with the water. It also is designed to pull in water, pulls it in, fires it out. That's why it can go so fast for such a small thing. And that's what it's doing for you. Now, let me show you in a practical demonstration what it's doing. Paul, there's one beside you to have a look at, just so you can see what that looks like, pal.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I'm going to show you about this. I'm going to turn this up to speed 3.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you the amount of air that has been drawn in the back of this.
So now we're proving that this is not just a regular fan, yeah?
Absolutely. So I'm going to put this here, and this is now being measured in meters per second. Every second, it is pulling in 2.15, 2.16 meters of air.
Yeah.
That's about 6.5, 7 foot of air going through. So if you imagine, Paul, from me to you, it's bringing in that much air all the time around here, drawing it in that quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Now watch this here, because it does the very same. They're not just there to look pretty. Check this out. I want to turn the light on so we can see it a little bit better.
So it's not just from underneath, it's from the left and right as well.
Nearly 2 meters of air being sucked in every second. That's meters per second.
Yeah.
So every second, there is 2 meters of air being drawn in every single one of those. Now watch what happens. Now this is why it's bringing it up. Now we know that moving air is cold air, cooler air. We also know that air from the ground is cooler than air up top.
Yeah.
So when you start moving it all, it's cooling the air, bringing it into cool air, further cooling it, sending it up to the ceiling, forcing that warm air down. That warmer air is then cooling because it's moving and bringing it through cooling. Watch what happens when I put this out the front. Let me turn this light on once again. Check this out.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
4.3,
More than
4.2.
double.
More than double, they're 4.5 meters per second. Now, the reason that is, I'm going to show you something actually while I'm here because my eyes are, right, so watch this, Paul. I'll get this light, come on.
Need your glasses?
Do you know what I do? It's dreadful.
I'm the same. I have to.
Kilometres
As we
an
get
hour.
older, we end up doing that, don't we?
Yeah, you
I'm
do,
the
don't
same.
you? 50 next week. That's kilometers an hour. It's firing the air out at 17 kilometers per hour at the
Holy
front of that.
mackerel.
Now, this is what I'm saying. Vast quantities of air being moved.
What
Paul.
level is that on?
That's on 3. But listen again, listen. It's so quiet.
Yeah.
Of course we can hear it. Of course we can. I'm not trying to say, oh, you can't hear a thing. But it's so quiet. And at night time, turn it down to speed 1. Now, ours is in, we have the 120, which is the one beside Paul just there, and the one beside me here as well. And we have that in the bedroom, speed 1, and I promise you it cools it down. So what happens?
That one beside you, is that exactly the same as the one I've got where you've got you can
Yes.
heighten it,
Okay,
change the height?
so we've been talking to the viewers at the moment about the 230, okay, which is the tall one just there.
Yeah.
And the 210. That there is the 210. But to further complicate things, not complicate things, but to further explain to you, this one here has 2 of these legs in it. We can take them off. So you can make them into a slightly shorter one or the complete short one like the one beside me.
Yeah.
If you buy the 210, it's always this size. If you buy the 230, it can be that size, halfway, or the full size.
Yeah.
You decide.
And I'll tell you, there's some advantages. So I've got the 230. I think of it as the 2.3, so 3 legs. 2.2, 2 legs. 2.1,
Yes.
1 leg. That's the way I look at it.
Perfect
right?
way to look
and
at it.
I'm not saying that's what they planned, but that kind of makes sense in my head. Anyway, the point of having the tall one is that you've got more options. So if you want it between your sofa and your armchair, you need it above it so it can blow it out. And you, again, don't direct it at people. Don't have it facing the cylinder facing you. Tilt it up so it can get, but you want it above the sofa, above the armchair. But no, this was Alan's idea, not mine, Alan's idea. Take the 2 legs out, have it lowest. I put it at the bottom of the stairs, and if it's really, really hot, when you go upstairs, you're like, oh, blimey, it's so hot up here. Got all the windows open and that. Downstairs, it's nice and cool. Some people even sleep downstairs because it's cooler. I put it on the lowest setting, it's drawing the cool air in, and I have it blasting it up the stairs. Brilliant. So the 2.3, the 230 gives you more options. If you think, well, I don't need the different heights, go for the 2.1. It's all choice for you. Now, £89.99, brilliant, brilliant value for money. If you go to our website, idoworld.tv, you get to see all the different choices. Let's show you the website so you know what that looks like. Again, we've got lots on the show. Oh, the grey, have we got any of the grey one left? The grey one, do we have the grey one left? Okay, less than 10. Less than 10 remaining. We're into single figures now, so if you look for the grey one is the smart version. And when we say smart, we literally mean it hooks up to your smartphone. You can control it with that, which arrives at your home. Now, for those of you that aren't particularly into fitness, let's talk about the summer months, because they're getting closer and closer. We've already had a few really great days. I got 10 hours in the garden, 8 hours on Saturday. I was hoping to do a lot more today, or yesterday now, Sunday. But of course it didn't happen because we got rain. It was on off all day long. But the fact is, it ain't summer yet. And we could get a really good summer. They've been talking about a heat wave. I've got my fingers crossed, I love it. But in any case, you know the weather fluctuates here in the UK, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. We're going to get hot days. We're going to get those hot, sultry nights where you open up the windows, try and get some cool air in. If you buy this fan and imagine having it for 10 years, you might have it for 20, but just imagine for 10 years, because nobody goes out and buys a fan for one summer, do they? You buy it for year after year after year. 10 years, we're talking 15 quid a year. 15 quid a year. And when you hear how affordable it is to run, brilliant. However, this is really important too. It's not just a fan. It's certainly not a traditional fan. It does not work in the way that a regular fan does. You're going to see balloons hovering around in the sky, not the sky, 10 feet, 6 feet, 4 feet above these fans because they create a vortex of air. And you can see they're floating around A regular fan wouldn't do that. A regular fan would just blow them away, right? And that is the big point of difference. Alan's going to prove all this to you. Come on, let's meet Alan right now. But please bear in mind, one of the Bonecos is already sold out, and we're expecting another one shortly. So get these as soon as you can. Alan, can we go right back to basics for anyone that's just joined us?
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Well, what I'm going to do is the company themselves, Boneco, all they do, it's a Swiss company. All they do is work with air purifiers and things like that, and cooling air. And this here, even though this is not an air conditioning unit, because now, especially with the way that the price of electricity has gone, an air conditioning unit is something that I personally believe a lot of people will be running away from, okay? Even when the electricity was less than half the price that it is now.
Is it a bit like putting your tumble dryer on?
Exactly, that kind of thing. So these here, basically, Boneco have, they've been around since 1956. This has won a Red Dot Award for design as well, because it's a beautiful looking machine. Now, I'm going to talk about this one here beside me. Now, what's on your screen here is the F230. This is what you get, this one just here. So you get this head, it's the same head as this one, but you get the 2 poles to make it taller. That's what you're getting with the 230.
I'm gonna change the editorial on that, if you will. Sorry, I don't want to feel like I'm saying wrong. But I'm going to say you get 3 legs with it. So there's 1 leg on the fan itself already, and then it's like you get 2 additional fans. Yes. Might be a better way to say that.
Good way of doing it.
Just because you got, and the reason I say that, it's not to be clever clogs or anything. I do have this particular fan, but it's because you feel like, well, that's one setting with 1 leg, and then you can add another 2 in. So that's not offensive.
No, I think no, not at all. I think it's a brilliant way of doing it. Just don't interrupt me again like that.
No, because that one's already on 1 leg, right? That one's on a leg,
absolutely,
and you
right,
can add 2 more to it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I will show you that later on, and it's a really good point. He's absolutely right. So basically, what I want to show you is how good this is, because we talked about the balloons, and I've got this balloon here beside me, but we're talking about the air being drawn in from the sides and underneath. And what Boneco have done with the design of this is they've made this to cool the air without it being an air conditioning unit, because Paul, moving air is cool air.
Yeah.
You know, you sit in the garden, you're sitting down on the beach, and you're sweltering, and then a breeze happens, and you're like, oh, that's so nice, and it cools you, because moving air is cooling air. This is moving vast amount of air. Now watch this, the way it fires it out, it's able to hold this balloon in that vortex. Now we've air conditioning in this place as well, but you can see, look at it, it's keeping it in that vortex. Now I have another way to show you this, okay? Just to show you, when we turn that up to the top, it'll disappear out of the place. There we go, look at that, it's going. Now I want to show you something. Do you see this blue stuff I have behind here? This is not for me to get changed behind, because quite frankly, it wouldn't hide anyone's modesty, would it really?
No, it wouldn't.
Fair. But watch this, that's about 8 feet away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this fan just here now, and I'm going to aim it, and you can see what it's doing, okay? Now watch this. When I turn it slightly, you can see it's so directional that it is only moving one side of that. Oh, I don't even know what that is. What would you call that? I don't know. Chintz. But watch, you see the side of it on the left-hand side as you look is not moving so much, but the right-hand side is. Now if I move it slightly more over, you can see that it's changed.
Yeah.
Now that's about 8 or 10 feet away.
So you're saying there, it doesn't disperse the air?
No, it keeps it in that little channel, in that tunnel of air. It's so directional. Now the reason that you want that is this. If this was in the middle of your room, you'd have it going straight to the ceiling. If it's over in the corner, you aim it up to the ceiling like that, so it comes down where you're sitting or in the bedroom or something. It does move 270 degrees right the way around. But what I want you to see is this. Now I'm talking about vast quantities of air being moved. Now look at the back of this just here, all of the vents to draw the air in to the fan. This bit here is missing, is filled in because the motor is in there. But to allow for that, you can see that the back of this is concave. Now concave gives it more surface area. But also look at this just here. This is not just here to make it look good, or is this one here there to make it look good? It's very functional, because the blade of this is about here. And what the blade does, and I'll show you this at this juncture now, is this. This is a traditional blade from a fan, those ones you get. Have a look at that. Now that is no good to anyone, okay?
Why is that?
Because look at it, it's just chopping air. It's not moving air, it's so flat. It's spinning round and it's not doing a great deal.
Okay.
So it's no good to anybody.
So that's not the one that's in this?
That's not the one that's in it. Now let me introduce you to the one in Boneco. Look at that.
Yeah.
Now, Paul, you made the point earlier on, it's more like a propeller on a boat.
Propeller, yeah.
Now, did you ever see an outboard motor that will bring a little speedboat down the river?
Yeah, that little thing sticks in the water. The little
and it's got a little thing like this.
Size.
But the thing is, that doesn't just push the boat along. It doesn't just push water. What it does is, it pulls in the water and it fires it out. That's why it's designed in such a way. And that is exactly what Boneco have done. Now, if we look at this here, you can see that as the air is forced up around the ceiling, down to the ground, and cooling it all the time, and then drawing it back in because of the vast amount of air it's drawing.
That's why you showed us that focus bit, where that it doesn't disperse the air. It keeps it in a channel.
It keeps it in a channel.
Straight up to the ceiling.
Directed to the ceiling.
And then the ceiling spreads it all out.
Exactly. It goes up. Now, hot air rises. So that hot air is there's cool air being fired up. It's forcing that hot air down. All the time it's moving, cool air, or moving air is cooler air, and then drawing it back in underneath.
And
now,
that's what you call the shower, the cool air shower.
Exactly.
Got it.
Talking about the vast amounts of air that this is moving, watch this. This nanometer here, I have this in meters per second. Have a look. Let me turn this to the camera so we can see this a bit better. Look at the amount of air it's pulling in the back. Getting up to 2.2. Let's call it 2.15 meters.
What does that mean to us, though?
A second. That means that every single second, this is drawing in, on the back of this, pulling in 2.2 meters of air.
Wow.
That's about 6.5 foot of air.
Yeah.
It's drawing that in. Now, also at the side just here, this is not just to make it look good. It's not just there for the fun. Watch what this is doing. This is pulling in air as well at a vast rate. Almost 2 meters per second. There you go.
Yeah, you've hit it.
Just over 2 meters per second.
So that's 2 meters from whatever's beneath it, 2 meters from the left, from the right.
Exactly.
Holy mackerel.
Drawing that in. It's sucking and forcing that in. Now, what happens is that inside here, the wall of this is thicker. So the fan blade is it's kind of about here, kind of halfway back.
Yeah.
And then the wall of this is thicker just here. So it's now making the front of this even narrower. So all the air being drawn in the back is now being forced into a smaller area and forced out. And wait till you see the results of that. Watch the speed of the air coming out the front of this.
Oh, wow. Much higher. Double. More than double.
Double.
Yeah.
4.6 meters of air every single second coming out. Now, I want to change this for you because just in case you're thinking, well, I'm not really sure what that means or how fast that is, but what I do know is I do know kilometers per hour. Well, have a look at this. 16, 17 almost, 17 kilometers per hour.
I guess that's about 12 miles an hour.
Yeah, we walk, what is it?
Wow.
What's the Olympian should know that he's asleep, it's okay.
Yeah, he's
it's what, I think we can walk at about 4 miles an hour. That's what we walk at.
Yeah.
So it's coming out 3 times faster than we're actually walking.
But there's another thing. Clearly it's bringing in a lot of air and then it's forcing it out the front.
Yeah.
But we said it's a vortex. So how does it get it to do that?
Okay, so have a look at the front of this just here. The beautiful, and this is one of the things that Boneco do. The angle of these are not just in here, and you might say, oh, I've seen something similar to that before. It's the twist on those is absolutely perfect, mathematically perfect, as is there's a tiny little slant on these to angle them, and it sends the air out, it twists it in such a way that when it comes out, the air has no choice but to be, it's like rifling of a gun.
Swirling
yeah,
around.
you know when you look down the barrel of a gun, there's a rifling in it that keeps. Yeah, well there is. Yeah, it's grooved in the inside.
Like you see on the James Bond thing.
Yes,
you see that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So what happens when a bullet is coming out from a gun? With that rifling, twists it. So when it's turning so fast, it comes out. That's why it can keep its velocity and keep it going straight.
Didn't know that.
This is what happens here. It keeps that air going. Moving air is cool air. I promise you this, right? Now, I want to show you something before we go any further. I brought my phone with me because I want to show you a couple of pictures, okay? And these are quite important. This unit here, which is the big one, the 2 series, we'll call it, okay, is the biggest one. And on speed 3, this will use 33 watts of power. Now, just have a little look at this here on my phone because I've got this little graph to show you on this. So 33 watts, okay? If I have this on for 8 hours, total kilowatt hours at 28 pence per kilowatt. Last year I was doing this at around 13.5 pence.
So that is updated.
This is updated, 28 pence per kilowatt, which is the current average price For 8 hours a day, it will cost me 7 pence.
Holy mackerel.
7 pence to run this for 8 hours.
So 21p if you had it on all day.
If you had it on all day, right? Now that's the brilliant thing. Now, watch this, okay? Just check this out here, because I want to show you something on this. Have a look at this, okay? So this is a decibel chart.
Yeah.
A hairdryer runs at 80 decibels, not that I know. A microwave, 55 decibels. A fan oven, 47. And a kitchen fridge, 43. And a computer, 41.
Yeah.
So that gives you an idea. So let's go on to kitchen fridge, 43 decibels. Now watch this, okay? I've now got a decibel reader on my phone.
That's pretty quiet, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Fridge.
Well, you think
can
about
hear it buzzing away gently.
Now and again you can, but it's not loud at all, okay? Let me open this decibel reader here.
Yeah, no one comes into your house to then go, what's that noise? Oh, it's me fridge. No,
Right.
Nobody.
So what we have here now, remember we're sitting in, this is turned on, 1, turned on, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
So just prove it,
Okay.
just in case anyone's watching. See the feather?
Feather moving.
Just in case you think, is it really?
That one's on because the balloon is held.
Yeah, oh yeah, the balloon's stuck
Yeah.
to it, yeah.
This one here.
Oh yeah.
The one in front of me.
You get
all of them. So we're sitting in among 6 working fans at the minute. Now our microphone's very sensitive, okay? So now watch this decibel reader just here, okay? So remember what we're looking at. What was it for a fridge?
43 for the
43.
fridge.
Let's now go quiet. .49 to 50 decibels.
5 of them going.
With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them going.
6 of them.
6 of them going, and the ambient noise here in the studio. And we're smack bang in the middle of all of them as well. So that gives you an idea that, number one, they are extremely good value to run. 7 pence for 8 hours on the big one. You go for the smaller one, or turn this down, there's 3 speeds on it, it's going to cost you less. These here, and I promise you, and I tell you why I'm sitting here, Paul, if I may, doing this product. I come in, I suffer from the heat, something chronic, and about 3 years ago, I bought an air conditioning unit. And I can say now, my wife, but my girlfriend at the time, Ellie, when I brought it into the house, she said, "You're not using that." I said, "But babe, you know, I suffer from the heat, I want to have this." She said, "No, we're not using that electricity." I used to have to put it on when she wasn't there. And then the smart, then the smart meter got sent to the house. Smart meter, I tell you. She was
Does
able
it
to keep
jump
tabs.
up then?
Oh yeah, but she kept tabs on it. She was able to see everything.
Oh, right.
Why is that so high? I don't know, honey. She said, "You the air conditioning unit on, didn't you?" I'd be sitting there watching the racing or something like that, and I'd have the aircon on. So genuinely, she barred me from having it. She said, "It's not being used. It went up into the attic." I couldn't stand. I hate the heat.
And you had to win on the racing to pay for the air
To
conditioning.
pay for the air conditioning. So now, this is the truth. I came in here one morning, and it was about 6:30 in the morning, and there was 2 Boneco fans sitting over there, and I went, "Wow, they look good. What are they?" And one of the floor managers said, "They're Boneco, and this is what it does, and this is how it works." And I immediately bought one of them. Genuinely bought it straight away. Brought it home and started to use it, and I fell in love with it. Bought another one. I bought the 120. Came in here one day. I'd never met him before. Chris Mott, who brings them in.
Oh yeah.
Chris was here, and I went,
fella, isn't he?
"Yeah, lovely fella." I said, "Excuse me, Chris." I said, I take it you're the guy," and he said, "Yeah." I said, "Thank you so much." I said, "This is what it does. It's changed the way I'm genuinely sleeping better. Everything is better." I said, "Since I've got the Boneco, I adore it." And he went, "Can you tell the viewers at home your experience of it and how much you love it?" I said, "Yeah, of course I can." And he said, "Would you do some shows for me?" 3 years ago, I do all of his shows because I love and believe in this product so much. Brilliant, and I mean brilliant product.
I'm going to share a quick story with you as well. Many of you will know I always talk about being a bit frugal, I squeak when I walk, that sort of thing, and I really do watch my money. But the fact is, when I first saw these 3 years ago, I was like, I can't justify that sort of money. For a fan, 150 quid for a fan, just because it's a beautiful looking fan. I agree, they look beautiful, but I couldn't justify that. But then I did a show, or 2 or 3 or 5, and I'm like, got it, it's not a fan. It's very different. I love the way you explained it, the cool air shower fan. Because, yeah, ultimately you've got a propeller that's spinning inside it, and we showed you it. It is a propeller compared to just blades that are cutting into the air. It's pulling it and it's sucking it in, it's forcing it out, and then it's that vortex that hits the ceiling and showers down on you. So everyone in the room is cool. Everyone in the room. And then Chris, the guy that brought these to us 3 years ago, he's still our supplier today. He's Boneco representative in the UK. He suggested put it at the bottom of the stairs and have it blasting cool air up the stairs, because when it's really, really hot in the height of summer, downstairs is cool at night because cold air goes down, and it's scorching up in the bedrooms, scorching up in the bedrooms. So I thought I'd try it out. It's his idea. Put it at the bottom, it brings in the cold air, and it fires it up the stairs. It's brilliant. I absolutely love it. So now I have got one, and I can justify it. When you realise it's not just a fan, a beautiful looking fan, albeit, the fact is, I like to call it a cooling station because it's so good. Now, I'm just sharing my personal story with you why I was able to justify the money. We've had some emails come in, Alan.
Oh, yeah, brilliant.
Aaron has emailed in, or Aaron has emailed in and asked, he's got a narrow hallway.
Yeah.
He can't really tell from looking on the TV if it will fit in. So let's show, oh, we've got a tape measure there. Chris has brought a tape measure in.
Oh, brilliant.
So Aaron, it'd be hard for us to say, yeah, we think it would fit. You might disagree. So if we give you the measurements, that's a fair way to decide that, isn't it?
I'm going to say if it's a narrow hallway, Aaron, I'm going to imagine that it's a flat or maybe a 1 or 2 bedroomed house. Even if it's a 3-bedroom house, I'm going to suggest to you that the 120 just here is perfect. This here, because you can,
I have narrower.
Yeah, this is the one I have in my bedroom, and I have it away over in the corner of the room, and I have it angled so it goes up to the ceiling and then comes down. So when I'm lying in the bed at night time, you genuinely feel a blanket of cool air.
Can we measure
on
both?
Speed,
So
yes,
Aaron
of course we
knows
can.
what the width
on
is.
speed 1. But what I'm saying about Aaron is that you can have this downstairs on speed 3 if you needed it. So you can see that the width of this here, what will we go?
Should we do the base? Because the base is, I think, the widest
Yeah,
part.
of course. Okay, let's do that then. I can tell you that this is 11 inches wide at the widest point, 11 inches,
Right.
Aaron. So that's what it is. So that's, look at the head of this is about 8 inches just here. And height-wise, it's about 20 inches. That's all it is. That's the size of that one. Okay, now the base of the bigger one from side to side is 15 inches, Aaron. So hopefully that helps you, pal. But the great thing is, yeah, if you've got some furniture though, you see, look at the base of it, especially on a tall one, you can put the base underneath the couch or the table or something like that.
It's clever design, isn't it? I didn't realise that. Again, I just thought it's kind of to look cool. But you can imagine if you put the legs, the additional legs in, then that big base plate, which is heavy, so that it holds the whole thing. It's not wobbly in any way whatsoever. This is all built with class.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know the way some people get all excited about a particular brand of laptop or a particular brand of smartphone. They're like, oh, you got to get this, it's quality. You know, it's all metal, it's got glass, that sort of thing. Same with it. This is like your iPhone of fans. It really is beautiful quality.
100%. And the brilliant thing as well is, and I'd like, if I can, before we move, I just want to show you something, okay, how to change this. So if you get yourself the F230, which is the big one, okay, you basically have, like Paul said, that there, and these two.
Yeah.
That's what you have. Now I'll show you what we do. You don't even need to turn this off because this is so well designed. I push the button at the back and I lift out the head. So now what I can do is I can pop this in. Now look at the leg of this here and look at how far down it goes. It goes down that far, so it's really sturdy and all the electrical parts are down the bottom so they're not going to rattle and get damaged.
So we don't see any wires.
You don't see any wires either. So now, let me get this the right way around. There we go, slide that in. Now it immediately comes back on and is now a medium-sized fan, a medium height fan. But now let's go a little bit further on this and now click that off again. Again, look at that, no need to even turn it off, Paul. Pop this one in like so, and then, up I come, pop that in just there, and I now have the full-sized fan up there. And that's the beauty of getting the 230, Paul. You have those adjustments, and Paul said absolutely correct. Do you ever notice at night time, you mentioned it being cooler downstairs, you're in the bedroom, you go, oh, I'm sweltering. You go downstairs to get a cool drink, and then when you get down, you say, oh, why can't it be this cool up in the bedroom? Put this at the end of your hall, okay, or the end of your stairs, and put it down on the lowest setting, that cool air at the very bottom, fired up then, right up the stairs. Now, do you remember I showed you how directional this is with that blue tinsel thing hanging at the back? Well, that is why it will go all the way up. There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly like that. All the way up your stairs, cooling that air upstairs. I promise you this is absolutely not even one tiny word of exaggeration. I have the 120, which is this one here in my bedroom. I have it over at the side. I aim it like that. My bed's over there, so it comes up, hits the ceiling, and then showers down. I promise you this, I sleep better. Because my room is cooler, I feel that beautiful blanket of cold air. And for me personally, I sleep so much better. I'm not promising it's going to do that for you, but I'm only telling you what it does for me. I sleep better. I absolutely love and adore
most people, I think we know, don't we? If you're the wrong temperature, you got your duvet and it's too hot, you got to pull it off. Apparently, if it's 1 degree too hot or 1 degree too cold, it can affect our sleep. That's scientists telling us that, so we need to get the right temperature. So you've got settings on here. If you think, oh, it's getting a bit cold, turn the settings down. You'll work out what's best for you. And as you can tell, all 6 of these running right now, virtually silent. So it's not like you're hearing all that noise in the bedroom and then that click, 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 goes all the other way around, click, 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 and then you wait for the air to come in. You can get this to the temperature you want, and it's hitting the ceiling, and you're both going to be cool in the bed. That's the beauty of it. Listen, I'm being told we've got some more emails. Let's share these with you. By the way, if you bought one of these from us, say, last year or the year before, and you've been using them and you want to share with other people why you love yours so much, email in. So here's one. This is from Angela. Angela in Bexley. I used to go bowling in Bexley when I was a young whippersnapper. Good bowling alley there. I used to date a girlfriend just down the road. Anyway, going down memory lane now, going down memory lane. But I was good at rolling the balls down that alley. I was very good. Anyway, I cannot praise these Boneco products enough. I purchased the F230 model last year, and boy, was I well impressed. The technology that's gone into developing these products is wonderful. Using this fan in my bedroom creates a lovely cooling effect all over the room and enables me to have a great night's sleep. Thank you, Boneco, for bringing these great fans to us, the customers of Ideal World. Yeah.
A big hello to Ron, my neighbour as well, who's watching at the moment. Hey, Ronnie,
Is he
how you
watching?
doing, buddy? Yeah, he's watching.
And Eagle Eye John's definitely watching us.
Yes, 100%.
Right.
But what a lovely email that was.
Can we just talk about this one minute?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Okay. So
is it the same sort of technology? Or
very same technology. Now, what I love about this one is that if you're traveling on public transport, if you're going on a bus or a plane or a train or something like that, you can use this. How can I use this, Alan? Well, you use a USB port to basically, you get the USB wire with it.
Yeah.
You can plug it into a power bank. So if you are traveling on a train, and sometimes, you know, they can be really hot.
Camping.
If you're camping, you can bring this inside of your tent to get the air moving in the tent. You could bring this, because it's nice and small, into a caravan perhaps. But if you're sitting somewhere and you just want to have that little bit of cool air, have this. This used to be, right? This used to be, if I'm not mistaken, when we launched it was 50 quid. But to have this at $24.99 now is absolutely brilliant. Great little personal fan. Brilliant as well if you're sitting down, if the kids are doing homework or something like that. Yeah. Great to have there just to keep them cool.
And of course, if you've got the old laptop out, or maybe even for work, plug it into the USB computer.
Into the USB, yeah.
Boom.
Or the USB into a plug or something, USB plug. And we all have loads of them at home.
Yeah.
That is an absolute brilliant. The same technology. Look, you can basically see, let me take this over here. You can see the concave back on this here as well. Okay, you can see the sides where I told you it would pull in the air. But this is brilliant because when you turn this on, you just tap it like tip, tip, tip. It's not a button, so it's just a little touch screen on that, just the littlest touch. It is absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, busy on this already now. $29.99 is a reduced price. We will be going back up to that right here, right now, $24.99. Now, if you like the idea of one that's a little larger, maybe this is great for the bedroom, one either side of the bed.
Yeah. Now, again, this is the same technology, a touch screen. Now, just have a little look here at the lights just here. So when I touch, see, look, at all on, off.
Oh, yeah.
One.
Oh, yeah, I can see the lights.
2.
Yeah.
3.
Let's see if I can block the... There you go, I'll block the light.
1, 2, 3. So it's a little touch-sensitive pad at the side. Now, I've just turned that on to full speed. Now, again, this is wonderful if you are in an office or something like that and you can't have the big stand, maybe. You want to have this over the other side of your office, just on a shelf or something like that, just sending that air up through the room, moving that air again. Very same technology. And I tell you, for 80 quid, I think this is a brilliant value as well.
Again, blimey, dude, yeah. You
now,
put it right on me.
But the thing is, you don't need to do that with Boneco. You do not need to do it. By the way, can I ask you, you've moved from here to the pillows over to the guys over there to gravitate. Where's the coolest part of the studio right now?
Come on, you're going to say, well, of course he's going to say that. But it is here.
It is.
It's absolutely here.
Because moving air is cooling air.
And it's not, look, not one of these fans is blowing at me. No. Not one of them. But they're making the air cool and then it's dropping back down.
Actually,
the shower.
Paul, I'm even going to make this even more specific for you. You know the height of our ceilings, they must be 30, 40 foot high. So in actual fact, the air is not going up and it's not coming back down.
Oh, right.
What's cooling the air right now is the vast quantities of air it's drawing in. So the air that's here is now been pulled in that way, pulled in that way.
We're
it's been
not
drawn
feeling
in.
the end result.
No, we're feeling just it being pulled in.
Got
so
it.
that air is moving. It's just like that breeze because the air is being pulled into the Boneco.
Yeah.
And that's what it's doing. If it's doing that just like that, what's it like doing it in your bedroom, your living room? Put it into your conservatory to cool that down as
So
well.
that's the one we're looking at right now, £79.99. But I want to go to the one that's next to Alan, so we can put the price on the screen for that.
Which
This
one
is
are we
the
looking
one
at
called
now?
the F120.
Oh, the F120, yes. This is the 120 here. Now, this is the one that I use in the bedroom. In fact, when you were over doing Gravitated a few minutes ago, Alex...
We'll be going back there shortly.
Yeah, Alex just came over and he sat with me and he was chatting and he goes, Al, love these. I said, do you not have a Boneco? And he went, no, I actually don't have one yet. Which one should I get? I said,
shame
I
on
know.
you, Alex.
I said, get the 120. I think it's great. And he said, it's great value at £100. It's actually £90. It's wonderful. Now, this is 3 speeds as well. Now, you can see the adjustment up here. All you do is twist this. Speed 1, speed 2, and speed 3. Now, this is exactly the one I have. I actually have, as I said, I bought 4. I have 3. My son borrowed one. He's like me. He suffers from the heat. But the great thing is because we're moving the air, we don't need to open windows. So no pollen coming in, no flies coming in, no...
The noise.
Noise coming in.
You might have people outside, walking back from the pub in the evening, or maybe you live near traffic and you hear it.
You hear it. You don't need to open your windows because this moves the air. It is absolutely brilliant. Now, again, you can angle this 270-degree rotation on that as well, Paul, so you can aim it wherever you want.
My youngest one, he just turned 7. He loves it when we've got it on the low setting. So when I say low setting, I mean taking the 2 legs out, so it's as low as it can be. So it looks like the one over there. He loves to stand over it and pull his T-shirt open. He loves it when he does that.
Yeah.
And then I've got a picture of him. I should have brought it in for you to see. He put his face over it and he's got that because the wind is blowing out. We showed you earlier. It was going 12 miles an hour. So you could literally get right up to it and you could see it blow in his face. It's hilarious. He's a funny kid. No, don't be like that. Some people say he's a bit like his dad. £89.99. Don't miss out. Listen, we're about to take a short 3-minute break. It's the perfect opportunity for you to go to our website, ideaworld.tv, and place your order. Pick the Boneco that's perfect for you. All the details are on there. We're going to go back to the pillows when we come back. The GX suspension pillows, the top of the range ones, not 80 quid each, 30 quid for 2. And we've also got lowest ever price on Gravity.